This is in. So now they can probably hear us again.
Yep, I can hear you.
Yeah, but I got the microphone off.
Mm-hmm.
Well, actually, it's a way for me to know if it's working. Okay, so now it should be working again.
You.
Right now, you can hear me? Hello? Hello? Roboten?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Testing, testing. I'm going to move over here, see if you can still hear me. Can you hear what I'm saying right now? Hello?
Yes, sir, you're in.
Oh, it's working. Good night, Ainsley. Love you. Lucy.
Good night.
Okay, so we got a little bit more work to do. Sorry for the interruption. Test passed. Yeah, success. So what I was saying is we're trying something new. We're in the new room. We've kind of got a bit of a setup going here for future podcasts and lives. So that's brand spanking new. I hope you guys like it. Obviously got a bit of space. I'll put some more stuff on the shelf. And the other thing that's new, normally we do these lives from cell phone. We still are. But normally speaking, the camera's turned the other way so we can actually see ourselves. So now we can't, which is why we both have a laptop so I can actually see what's going on. See if I got to suck in my gut. Ugh, too many cookies this week. Getting fat. So how's everybody doing this week? Don't forget to give it a thumbs up. My screen says only one thumb up. So give her some more, please.
All right, where are you going to start?
I don't know. Good evening from Serbian living in Germany. We can hear both. Hello, we hear you. Oh, I gotta change mine here yet. Сейчас. Работа. Translate to English. Is my cheating? I can cheat that way. Anyway, fire away. If there's specific questions you guys want to ask, anything you want to know, any topics you want to discuss this week, the slate's wide open. I got nothing to talk about today specifically. It's been a gorgeous week. We've got some more additions to the farm, so you can stay tuned for that coming up. All in all, life is good.
Mm-hmm. Somebody would like to know where the other Canadian family is.
Well, I don't know where they are right now, but they looked around this area for a considerable amount of time. They looked at a bunch of different properties. Here in our village, there was one potential one, and then they traveled this whole area. They even went as far as Arzamas. They ended up settling on it. I'm not going to tell you where they are, but it's about 2.5 hours from here. They found a house that was cheaper, something they could afford, and they have purchased it. So as far as I know, they're living there now and renovating. It is officially theirs in their name. I would assume they're registered there. I know they were traveling back and forth for a while, but I think it's livable now, and they're in it. And yeah, so they're getting it renovated, fixed up, getting gardens in, getting ready for life in a new home. It was nice to have their fellowship for a while it lasted. It's amazing. Didn't really realize how much we missed being able to speak in our own language. just that fellowship. I mean, we have Russian friends. We actually just came from some good friends tonight, but it's not the same. It's not a fluid conversation because there's always bits and pieces that get missed, right? Or that can add for amusement too, of course. It's not always bad.
Yeah, I really enjoy their company.
Absolutely. Yeah. Don't be afraid to do something you've never done before. Remember, the Ark was built by an amateur, but the Titanic was built by professionals. Yeah, that's true. Yep. Hello from Germany. Greetings, Aaron and Anneesa. I'm watching you from the UK. Marlon Bracken. It's hot in southwest Georgia. Yeah, not bad here today. We had a bunch of rain Friday. Yeah, Friday it rained here.
Yeah, yesterday too. No?
I had to drive. I drove to Vonnegut.
Yesterday.
Was that yesterday?
Yeah.
Oh, Saturday.
And
then.
it
Okay,
rained,
sorry.
it
Yeah,
rained, it rained, it rained.
Yeah, I actually got stuck in the village here at the van. I had to
Yeah.
get the tractor to pull me out.
I laughed because I just planted a whole bunch of grass seed around the house.
Mm.
And then it poured and poured and poured. And I'm like, yep, it's all going to wash away. But it looks like it didn't. It looked like it settled.
Some's growing?
Yeah,
I
quite
know
well.
the stuff that I planted on the hill, a lot of it washed down.
Yeah,
too.
down. You could see the line of where it
Yeah.
stopped.
That's
But
growing now.
yeah.
So anyway, that brought in a lot of colder weather. So we have like a week now, roughly, of cooler weather. I think today was only, what, 14, 15 degrees or something. Sound about right?
I find it really cold this year for summer.
Somebody was saying it's the same as last year.
Okay, well, last year I remember it being a lot warmer.
Okay, well, Corey was talking to somebody in the village and they said it was the same. Yeah, I thought it was warmer too.
Yeah, I feel like it wasn't as, like, we had rain in the spring, or like early, and then all of a sudden summer came, it was like warm.
Yeah. Well, we had a great summer for building. I think
Yeah,
God gave us some amazing weather to get the work done.
I agree, but
at this point, we weren't sleeping here yet. We were still driving back and forth every night to the city.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah, I guess that maybe is the difference. Maybe it's coming. I just feel like it's really cool. Like, even in the city, it was like, I remember March came and it just seemed like it warmed up.
We had it this year. This year was really hot and then it cooled off.
Yeah, but I don't remember it cooling off again.
Last year.
Last year, it seemed like it warmed up and then it just kept getting warmer.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I feel like it was really cold this year.
Could be.
Seems that way.
Can't always be good. So much for global warming, right?
Mm-hmm.
What else did I see this week? I think it was Friday. It was in southwestern Alberta. So like 2 hours south of Calgary. They got snow. The roads were all
really
chock full of
snow.
snow.
My, they could keep it.
Yeah, for June.
Yeah.
No, thank you.
No, thank you.
Global warming. New York City. Sochi. Hello from Southern California. That should be warm. Hello from St. Petersburg. Hello from Texas. Good evening from Netherlands. From the Jan Krijvanger. That's a good name. Hello from Hungary. The new studio style is super, and the quality is better. You guys are super too. Yeah, we were aiming for super.
Yep, super
Thank
duper.
you very much.
Super.
You're a superstar.
Superstar.
Marlon, your daughter's Russian language sounded amazing. She is so smart. Yes, she is. She picks up stuff very quickly.
Do the children have opportunities to interact with other children in the community?
Yes.
Yes, lots. I feel like our children have had more socialization coming to Russia than they did in Canada.
Yep.
With children and people in general. Believe it or not.
Yep. I think so too.
And if they
was
don't.
it last Sunday the other kids came to play volleyball?
Was it Sunday or Saturday?
We built a volleyball court, sand court with a net.
Mm-hmm.
If you haven't seen that yet, it is in the past video. And there'll probably be in a new one coming up.
Yeah.
Hey, I still only got 2 thumbs up, guys. Give her some thumbs up. Hit the thumbs up.
Oh, I'll hit it too. Anyway, randomly they were playing volleyball, the kids in the yard. We look out and there's like 12 people in the yard with our children and a bunch of kids playing volleyball.
Where'd they come from?
So we're like, oh, apparently the people from the village came to play volleyball with her children. So that was great. And then the kids were like, can we come tomorrow night too? And we were busy, but they would have came back again.
Yep. And Cora's teaching English now too, so that's interaction with with some village people.
Well, and then our children go regularly to the village to deliver eggs.
Egg deliveries. Yeah.
Yeah.
And Cora and Ariana now, excuse me, Cora and Ariana doing market. So they meet a lot of people there. 2 markets so far. On video, you've only seen 1, but they did their second market this Friday.
Yeah.
So success, I think.
And then we have quite a few Russian friends that interact with our children as well. And, you know, they try to speak, like, they know a fair bit of English for us if we're trying to communicate, or we do it through Google Translate if we need to, but they try to interact with the children quite a bit in Russian, which is nice.
Is it hard to talk with that thing in your ear?
No.
Do you not hear a delay? Or?
I muted it now, but I just
Ah,
wanted to make sure that we could. But I
okay. I
was
thought you were
hearing it.
listening
No,
to it
I
at the
was
same
hearing
time.
it at the same. For
I
a
said
while,
it
I
there
was
too.
hearing it. I just muted it now. So
Mm-hmm. Hello from Regina International Airport on my way to Kelowna. We might run into some of that snow. Great places. Canada is a great place. It used to be the country is still good. Most of the people are still good. Government's terrible, and the other half of the people are terrible. And the direction's terrible. But there's some beautiful places to visit for sure. What do you need me to do?
we got membership.
Well, I don't see it.
There is no try. A membership
Live
for
chat.
6 months. Thank you. It says
Where do you even
I
see
hope
it?
the
Oh, right there.
market went well.
We did good at our market. You build up regulars, so don't despair if things start out slow.
Yes. Yeah, for sure. And that was kind of why they thought they'd start with.
And what is this? Sorry, they bought a membership
Yeah,
on YouTube.
yep.
Oh, thank you very much.
Yeah, for 6 months.
See, I don't even know how half of this stuff works. So.
Yeah, it really helps us. It supports us a lot, and it helps us.
So anybody can buy membership.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
And for different months.
Well, if they just buy it month to month, or they can buy it for 6 months, they can buy it for a year, and it's a little bit of money that helps us.
Cool. Thank you very much. We appreciate all the help that we get. That's one thing I didn't take into account. Well, we did and we didn't, I guess. But it takes 3 years. I've said this in a video that's coming up here soon. But it takes roughly 3 years to get a homestead up and running. And so for that 3-year period, it's a lot of investment, depending on what you buy. If you buy a farm that has a house already, then I guess you don't have to build one. But in our case, it was bare land. The last place too, bare land, and then we built everything from scratch. And that's a lot of investment that goes in, and it takes about 3 years before you actually start turning a profit. So we are now on year 2, and we got a ways to go yet. Yeah. Hopefully by this fall we'll have some stuff to sell. For anybody thinking of coming, you have to prepare for that and plan for that. It's a different game, different markets, different way of life, different culture. Be prepared. I was asked this week in another documentary we did. If you guys know Real Reporter, I encourage you to check it out on YouTube. Real Reporter. It's got some great content. He did a interview documentary with us last year in February, I think it was.
I think that's what he said. Yeah.
And so now we invited him back for follow up because back then everything was very uncertain, and now we're on our.
Well, and we were even in the apartment. We weren't even living here.
So anyway, he asked, where was I going with that? I lost my train of thought. What did he ask?
About the investment, and it takes 3 years.
Oh no, that's what it was. He
Yeah,
asked
okay.
roughly how much, if someone else was coming from the west, how much they should take
Oh,
with.
yeah, that's so hard to know.
And I was like, I don't. I mean,
so
it really
many
depends on what you want to do.
variables, yeah, in that question. That's kind of like a loaded
If you're
question.
okay with buying a house in the village in a remote place, and getting a cow and putting in a garden, then I think 50,000 US would go a long way. And especially if you have some kind of job prospect. But if you don't speak Russian and you're not into IT where you can work globally, you're going to need a lot more money. So Anneesa was thinking more like 150,000, and that's probably more accurate. It's really hard to say, and depending on what you want to do, right? Like if you have an income
and size
stream,
of family.
Okay. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, size of family, and yeah.
For us now, groceries have gone up. There has been some inflation for sure. We spend probably about 4,000 rubles a day on groceries. Not just groceries, like everything that we need: toilet paper, diapers, all of that included. So it adds up. It takes a lot to feed a family.
It's interesting. This person says it's interesting to note how different Ariana and Ainsley are in character. Literally opposites. Ariana avoids the attention, and Ainsley is like a star.
Yeah. Yeah.
Is my impression correct? Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Ainsley would be more similar to Cora.
Yeah.
Cora was never shy.
Yeah, but Cora was never like, look at me either, though. I find Ainsley
she just wasn't scared of. I remember meeting so the one friend of her, Earl's place. I was doing field work there, and Cora was driving around with me in the tractor, and she seen another girl about her age, and obviously a conservative girl as well. It's actually an Amish family, and she's like, oh, I wonder if I could talk to her. I said, well, just hop out and do it. Okay. So she jumped out of the tractor and ran to this house to go talk to this random girl. I was like, I would never do that.
No, I wouldn't either. No, and I don't think Ainsley would do that either.
maybe not, but they have
No.
some similarities.
Yeah, they do have. I
Ariane
don't
is
think.
definitely more shy.
I feel like Ainsley's kind of getting more insecure a little bit, like nervous about herself and interacting and stuff.
Mm,
And more so, I think, since we've had so much media attention and like I hate to put a dig out there, but the Malakoff um, production was really hard on her because it was like a lot of they were trying to like make them act and things like that, and that was not her style. It was like she just wants to be normal and natural,
yeah.
and we don't act, we don't put on shows, we just, you know, we're
Mm.
just normal people living our life. And I
Somewhat
think
normal, a little bit nuts.
that but I think
I don't
that
know if
was really hard on her self-esteem, right? Like
normal
it was
people
really
wouldn't jump
hard.
on a plane and go to Russia.
But yes, yeah, true. But Ariana, yes, she's definitely shy. She's coming out of her shell. She's becoming more bold, going to the market. She never would have done that ever.
Mm.
No, so
Ariana, no.
yeah, and I feel like sometimes she gets overshadowed
Because
um,
she's quieter.
because she is quieter.
Mhm.
So it's not like intentional, but I just feel like because she's kind of delayed with her, okay, well, maybe she would, you know, but she's kind of hesitant. So then she kind of gets overshadowed a little bit. But she's starting to come out
Mhm.
of her shell and be more courageous and bold.
Yep, absolutely. It's
Hmm.
cool. It's great to watch. If you only have one kid, you only get to see one, I guess, but it's just cool to watch your kids develop and reach for new goals, try new things, succeed, also fail because they learn from that.
Hmm. Hmm.
I was pretty nervous for them in their first market, honestly. Second market, less so. You know, they're the pros at it, but
I
it's
would
cool.
say though that the boldness comes more from you. I'm a little bit more shy and like kind of keep to myself more so than you. Even going to
Mm,
people's places, I enjoy company. I enjoy going to people's places, but I'm the type of person until I really get comfortable with someone, I'd rather just sit in the corner and observe.
mm,
And then I'll finally get. And a lot of people would take that as, you know, I'm not enjoying myself or I'm, you know, uncomfortable or they need to please me. And then I look at it as I'm just fine, right? So it's interesting.
I also don't like people though.
Yeah, but you would be more likely to talk more when you get nervous.
Hmm.
And I'm more likely to like just sit there
I
and
just like to
listen.
talk in general.
Yeah, you do. No, but the other day we had those women on our porch and we were having like tea with them and stuff and I really enjoyed that. But it was like they wanted to interact with me because I was so quiet. And then I get really nervous because I don't know how to talk Russian. But like I said to Cora, I'm like I would have totally been content to just sit there and listen, not even if I didn't understand any of it, because that's how I'm going to learn for one. And it would have been just great to just sit there and watch and interact that way, as opposed to them, as much as they were trying to be helpful, it was like stressing me out by them
Hmm.
trying to include me because it was like, I just need to hear it, like people just conversing, as opposed to like, I don't want to be involved. Right, like just talk to each other, right? So
Just
I
let me
think,
sit here and listen.
yeah, and I think
Mm.
Ariane was very similar to that. Yeah, where Cora was like, I've got to learn to talk to people. You know, if I want to socialize, she's got to learn. And she just went out and did it, right? So it's different. It's really neat.
Different confidence levels.
Yeah.
Hello from Fief, Scotland. I don't even know how to say that. IC68, I guess. Warm greetings from Italy. We respect VKS, watch, love, and respect. Great job to the whole family. May God protect VKS. Sincere hugs to everyone. What is VKS?
No
Also, good
idea.
luck to you. Yeah, Nish Nile. Constantine, hey, Aaron, tell us how the girls had their first day selling donuts in the village. We are all very interested. So, first day, this was now second market. As I said, they did their second time. First time, they sold about 5,000 rubles worth of donuts. Not enough to pay for supplies, but they bought enough supplies to last a long time. This week, they sold an additional, let's say, 6,300 rubles at market, roughly. So now everything's paid for. So next week, when they go to market, they'll be making money. But really, honestly, I don't even care if they make money. Going out, meeting people, the relationships, business. You know, we're all about teaching. It's hands on.
Mm-hmm.
Again, I don't believe school could teach you this. To actually be there and communicating, these are skills that they're developing that they can use for the rest of their life in whatever it is that they go and do. It's people skills, knowing how to read a customer, and try to sell something. It's just invaluable. So I don't really even care if they make money. I mean, obviously that would be great. But Hello, Aaron and Anneesa. Always a pleasure to see you. Wonderful family. Sergey, hello. Your daughter makes reviews in Russian. Let her continue in the same spirit. Teresa and Steve, Mitchell, Ontario, saying hi. 3920. Do the children have opportunities to interact? Oh, you read that one already. Siberian Mama, hello from Altai. Hello. Damon, Countryside Acres, did you consider to plant some rare, expensive type of plants so you can do small field work with bigger profits like aronia blueberries? Those type of stuff that are expensive. No, we need a variety of stuff. We mainly are concerned with planting things that we need to eat and survive, um, covering our own groceries, and then growing excess of that and selling it. That's our first step. And then we'll grow into that, obviously. Chris Shipley, $5 super chat. Yeah, super chat. Sometimes I think I should write my own dictionary because I've made up a lot of words. Stack sats against the machine. Not sure what that means. Thank you very much for your $5. I very much appreciate it. As we were saying earlier, every bit helps as we grow our farm and reshape our lifestyle. So thank you very much. All right, LW, how's everyone's Russian coming along? Who's best right now at speaking? Definitely Cora. What crops are you growing? Is the growing schedule time-wise the same as in Canada? Yeah, that's a loaded question. It's like when a Russian says, um, "But this is how we do it in Russia." I think it's a faulty statement because Russia is massive. I'm sure somebody on the other side of the country does something slightly different than what you do here. And same as Canada. Canada is huge. So is it the same growing schedule time-wise as in Canada? I mean, that's a big question. Depends on where in Canada you live, of course. Where I grew up in southern Ontario, and where Anneesa grew up, the season's much longer than where we farmed just prior to leaving, and much longer than up in Saskatchewan. So for the most part, it's very similar. It's a northern hemisphere climate. We are a higher latitude here, but I would say we actually have 2 weeks longer growing season than what we did in Ontario. Um, but again, it depends on where you live. Obviously, this isn't the same as all of Russia.
Yeah, and even three hours north of here has they're about
Yeah,
two,
it's
2 weeks behind
2 weeks
where we
behind
are,
us. Yeah.
which is interesting.
And if you go down south to Krasnodar, I mean, it's a totally different ballgame down there.
Mhm.
So, but all in all, yeah, we have 2 weeks here in Nizhny. I would say in the area of Nizhny, we are 2 weeks longer season. What crops are we growing? A whole variety of vegetables. I mean, I just threw some corn seed out just for fun.
It's growing. Did you see it?
Yeah, the kids said they were. I
Yeah,
didn't
it's a
see
bit
it.
up this side.
Nice.
It
So
didn't
that was
take
just for
long at
fun.
all.
No, it's germinated quick. And actually, when I was up in Ivanovo, I looked at some cornfields, and they're literally just this tall coming out of the fields right now. So
Well,
our
they were
corn,
like I said, it
we're
was
way
about
ahead.
2 weeks behind, and we get more like
That looked like very
heat.
sandy stuff there too.
Yeah,
Along the whatever they call it, the Mori, the Gorky Sea. Love the sisters picnic. Thank you. They enjoy doing that. It's nice. I like seeing them spending that time together, creating a bond. Good evening, wonderful family. I really want to try your donuts. Unfortunately, you live far away. Yeah, and I don't think shipping them would work.
They wouldn't be very fresh.
No. Good evening from Edmonton, Alberta. Have a good harvest this year. Wish you to be successful in Russia. God bless you. Thank you very much. Doc Army Scotland, thanks for the great whiskey. Greetings from Nizhny Novgorod. Crazy Cat, did you bring the button from home? They don't give it to you in Russia. Yes, Anneesa went back for 3 weeks with Wesley and took it at that time with her again.
Someone says that they have been watching from the very beginning. Is that like the beginning of like our channel or the beginning of just us in Russia?
Yeah, we've actually been on YouTube for 6 years.
Yeah.
So if you're ever curious on what our life used to look like and the fact we built our last homestead from scratch too, you can go back on some of the videos. And if you don't want to watch them all, I understand that. There are some like year in review videos as well that kind of encompass, an idea of what we did and accomplished.
So many farmers have already done their first grass cutting. Will you be preparing roughage hay ledge for your cows this year?
I would like to,
So
but I don't have any equipment.
yeah, I was gonna say people probably don't know because we've never
Oh yeah,
announced
good
it
point. We
that
haven't announced it. It's coming this week, probably.
yeah.
So we had applied for a grant, and with that grant, okay, let's start over.
In
In
Russia.
Russia, they offer agricultural startup grants. So each region would do that on its own. They have a certain budget allocated for agro startup, and we had applied for that, hoping, of course, to get it, but knowing that there was a chance we would not. This year there was 46 or 40, no, 46 applications for a startup grant. We were one of them, and there was 18 winners, and we were not one of the winners. So we did not get any funding for agricultural startup, and we were hoping to use that to buy some farm equipment. So now we're looking at other options. Obviously, we still would like to cut our hay. We're looking for some cheaper options to see what we can find. Used equipment is not cheap here, unfortunately.
Yeah, and what did you figure the reasoning for that was?
For not getting the grant?
No, for not having used farm equipment here. It just dawned on you the other day you had a
Well, we've talked about it before, but yeah, if you think locally here, there's a very large agricultural holding. I believe there are around 10,000 to 15,000 hectares of land. In Ontario, where we come from, that would be 350 separate farmers. And
Mhm.
each one of those farmers would have his own baler, his own mower, his own rake, his own manure spreader, his own tractors, probably 4 or 5 tractors on every one of that. So whereas here we have one large agricultural holding, there we would have 350. And so therefore there's also a huge amount of used equipment available.
Right.
We have tractor dealerships that have, a whole parking lot stuffed full of new and used equipment that we can drive through, pick what you want. We have dealerships where you can rent whatever you want. If I don't have a mower, I just go in and rent one.
Mhm.
You borrow it for the day, you bring it back at the end of the day when you're done with it. And I can do that with any piece of agricultural equipment. Tractors, you name it, you can just rent it for the day or for 2 days or whatever you want.
Right.
And none of that's available here. So also the used equipment
So
market
for
is
the
very,
Western
very small.
people, what would they find here for farms? Like in this region, we can't talk for all of Russia, but for the majority of farms, what would they look like?
You mean big? Well,
No,
you either
what
have
would
a
Russia
large,
looks
supersized agricultural, industrial scale, massive farm, and of course they have bigger equipment in, or you have very small, like a few acres or a
yeah, or
dasha
half an
with a half
acre.
an acre.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's very few farms of a scale like what we're
Yeah.
doing here.
It's not really even heard of.
And but then therefore again also there's just not used equipment. I mean it's very hard to find good quality used equipment, and there's not a lot of it around. It's not like I can drive to a tractor dealership like you would have, Case or John Deere dealership and go pick what you want. And even the new stuff, a lot of the dealerships don't have a lot of stuff sitting there. You can order it, but you can't go and see it and look at it and try it. We in Canada we would have demo days. You can go and try a brand new tractor out, drive it around for the
Mm.
day or whatever, just to see if you like the equipment. And even that's it's few and far between.
Yeah.
So back to today, or to us, we don't have a lot of money, so I can't afford to buy brand new stuff. The grant would have been great. We didn't get it, so we're going to keep forward. We don't believe in stopping or quitting. We'll keep moving forward, but we'll have to find equipment that fits our budget.
Yeah. Switch it
So,
up, figure
yeah.
something else out. This person says you need to buy a combine harvester and grow grain for livestock yourself.
Mhm.
Many farms in Russia do this. It's not profitable to buy grain. It is too expensive. Land can be rented.
Yeah, we have more than enough land. We don't need to rent any,
Mhm.
and that's our plan. But again, that takes money. It takes time.
Yeah.
It seems like some people expect us to get everything done today.
Well, we were obviously really busy with the house and the farm, and
Yeah, but we had X amount of dollars. We've poured that into our farm, and now we have to stretch the rest as far as we can get. I would love to buy a seed drill and a combine and put up some bins and grow all my own grain. That's definitely the plan eventually. But today, I can't afford a combine and I can't afford a seed drill.
yeah,
So
and
we'll
it's
we'll
very
grow into that.
limited to what you can find and what you can't find, and how to
Yeah.
find things. And
We need to focus on uh, making money, and once we can make some money, then we can put that back into the farm and continue to develop it. So we'll get there. Rome wasn't built in a day. I mean, 15 years ago, Anneesa and I were completely broke. We had nothing. We were flat broke and couldn't afford to buy groceries. We've worked very hard to get to where we are today, and we will continue to work hard. And hopefully in 10 years we'll be farther ahead than where we are today. What were you pointing at? This one?
Mm-hmm.
Svetlana, $9.99 super chat. Thank you very much, Svetlana. No comment, but there is a cool little hippo, maybe, turning around in his chair. I don't know how to get that off my screen. Oh, there it goes. Hello from Moscow. You're wonderful. I have relatives in Nizhny Novgorod. I adored this city. It was a very good decision to move there. Everything worked out for you. Oh yeah, we love it here. It's a great climate, great people, great government, great roads. No complaints. Marina, good evening, dear Anneesa. I would like to hear from you in more detail about the impressions of visiting Divo Monastery. This is one of the main pearls of Russia. It was wet.
Yeah, we'll have to go back on a
One of the
nicer day.
reasons for going that day is like, oh, it's raining
It wasn't
anyway.
like a really thought out
Yeah.
plan.
So friends of ours invited us that day because they were bored, and they're like, it's raining anyway, so we can't work at home. I'm like, okay, good idea. So we got in our cars and we drove there. It's raining there too. And
And we didn't really dress for the occasion, so
no,
we didn't bring umbrellas. They brought umbrellas. They brought out a raincoat, two raincoats, but we didn't. So
yeah.
we didn't really think of it.
So and that part wasn't terrible, but there was still a lot of people. It was Saturday or Sunday. It was very busy in any
Saturday.
case.
Well, it was a holiday weekend.
It's a very touristy place, so there's
Hmm.
a pile of people there. It's absolutely gorgeous. If you have a chance, go. But I want to go back to actually enjoy
Yeah.
it because it felt rushed. It felt there was just too many people. It's nice to just take your time and just take it all in. Very beautiful. I forget who said it, but if you build it, they will come.
Yeah, that's the movie with Kevin Costner.
That baseball movie, when he
Yeah,
builds a
yeah,
diamond. I haven't seen that.
yeah. I always say it like if you plant it, it'll grow too. Or like, what did we do if we the other day if we built it, like as with the volleyball net,
Mm. Yes,
right?
yeah.
The people from the village.
Roman, you need to buy a supported. Oh, you read that
I
about the
read that
comment
one
house.
already. Yeah.
All right.
I don't go in order. I just kind of jump all over the
Well, I
place.
did. I jumped down the bottom now. Maddie McMatface, love your new studio. Are you recording at home or at RT? This is at home. We actually moved into the basement. Interestingly enough, the internet's better down here, so there's no cutouts so far. And yeah, we wanted to create a new space to do more like our other channel. We have two channels. If you don't know that, that's two channels. If you don't know that, and we haven't done anything on the other one for what 6 months,
Four.
4 months.
Yes,
So
we're
I used
gonna
to do a
pick
lot
it
of
up.
interviews with other expats, other immigrants, and I would like to do more of that. Also, chats her and I covering certain
Yeah,
topics,
there's
maybe
a few things I would
parenting
like to
related
talk
or stuff.
about. Yeah. More and
So
more, I've been getting to think more and more we need to talk about different topics.
yeah,
Yeah.
so we're gonna hopefully do that, and this will be our new space to do that.
Are your dairy cows type A1 or A2 protein?
We don't have any,
We don't have dairy
but we
cows.
prefer A2 A2.
Yes.
If you don't know what that is, A2 is a protein that is much more digestible for human beings,
Much more natural.
and not always, but some people that have problems with cow milk actually have problem with the A1 protein and would have no problem with A2. And goats also are A2, and that is one of the reasons why people who have cow milk allergies have no problem with goat milk. As again, that's not in every case.
No,
but
sometimes it's lactose intolerance and all that other
that's right.
stuff. But
Anneesa, has there been any changes in Canada in the 1.5 years since you were there? Has anything changed for the better or for the worse?
it's so hard to tell. I wasn't really there as out in the world that much. If that explains it. I literally had a mission. I went to help my parents pack their stuff, organize their life. Yeah, just visit my old, homestead that I would have grown up on. So I didn't really, like, yeah, I didn't really get out much, as much as I didn't really notice, I guess.
It's always been a great place. It's
Yeah.
just certain things, certain politics, certain ideologies that creep in, and you know that it's coming. I mean, today it's not a terrible place to live.
Mm-hmm.
It's the direction that Canada's heading in, and it's hard to explain that to people. But
Yeah.
if you went there today, Although there are some signs that, I mean, there's riots and violence going on that we didn't used to have.
Mhm.
But if you went there today, you would say, "Oh, it's a pretty great place."
Yeah, I did feel like
But
when I got off the plane and then it was night and I had to go and look for my rental car in a dark, dungy, I felt very unsafe. And then there
mhm.
was people sleeping in the, carports and things like that because they're homeless. And that's obviously that was just there before we left too. So it's not like that was even
It's something you don't see here. You
no.
never see homeless
And
people
it's
or
not like
tents. And
I know that there can be danger here and I know that there could be bad people here. I just feel like I don't really I don't have to be on alert all the
mm,
time here.
yeah.
Like I am, like because I'm always thinking of safety for my kids or for myself, but yeah, I don't I don't feel like if I'm walking down the street and there's a bunch of young men coming towards me, I never feel like, they're going to jump me or attack me or any of that here. But if we
Mhm.
were like in Canada, in some cities or in Toronto, for sure, I would definitely be worried about that.
Yep. Some gardening stuff. Howdy from Texas. Your office looks fantastic. It's actually not the office. We moved into the basement. We're in the dungeon. Da-da-da-da.
Yeah.
What a beautiful office. You are like TV presenters. Good luck to
And
you.
that's how he was testing it. He's like, "Good evening."
Yeah. Broadcasting live. Breaking news. That's what it was. Yeah.
That's what it was.
Did you cover the office walls with linoleum? This is not the office, but it is linoleum. Yeah, we had a piece and we wanted to
It
cover it with
looks
something.
good.
And I think it looks great.
It looks great.
If you remember what our basement looked like before, it's like styrofoam with black dots. So this
Mm.
covers it up wonderfully.
This was my idea this morning. It took some convincing, but are you glad that it
It looks
convinced
great.
you?
It's a bunch of work, but it looks pretty good. I like it there. And it's
Hmm.
not so hot. The office gets warm.
This is
Nice
true.
and cool
Yeah,
down
this is true.
here. Это очень хорошо. Well, remember, you guys in the chat should look at how the thumbs up works. YouTube does not update on purpose.
Mm.
I think she's telling you to thumb it up. More thumbs up. I still only have 2 on my screen. You have
No,
11 on
I got
yours.
11, but it hasn't updated.
Well, somebody said there's 106.
Yeah.
But there's 202 people watching, apparently. What do you got? 202 watching. Are you bored?
Bored or what?
Bored or what? It says bored in. I don't know. I'm not bored right now. As Dominic Toretto said, there is nothing more precious than family. Amen. Hoffman time. Gave some hearts. Thank you. Natalie, you need to meet Dasha from the Young Farm channel. They have a type of farm you're talking about. They're a farm operation and they produce all kinds of produce and farm large fields. And that's normal for us. That's what farms are.
Mm.
We don't have Dasha farms or whatever you want to call them. We don't call that a farm. It's just somebody with a backyard. If you got 10 sot or something like that, or 20 sot, that's not a farm. It's just a backyard with some vegetables growing in it. Maybe you have a milk cow and some chickens or something. But a farm would be, I would say, minimum, 20 hectares at least, maybe more.
Sorry, it says Russian speakers. Are you frozen? They greet you, and then there's silence once again. Greeting from whatever. Does that is that now, or is that us talking about when we were like unable to talk to Russians?
Yeah, and now you guys could look into possibly growing flowers in order to make homemade salves and creams. We will.
Ainsley would
Eventually.
like to be a flower.
We have huge plans, but I've never ever run out of plans in
I
my
know.
life. Never have I been like,
Don't
oh,
tell
what can
everybody
I do now?
your plans.
I'm not going to.
Okay.
But I always run out of time and money. Those are the main stoppers for everything.
Here, honestly, some of it is
Bureaucracy.
bureaucracy.
Well, there's a ton of that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So if you're planning on coming from the west, you're going to come here.
Patience.
Great opportunities. It's a good idea, but be prepared for patience. There's just a lot of rules, a lot of regulations, a lot of paperwork.
A lot
of it doesn't make any sense.
No.
Yeah.
But
that shouldn't stop you. It's just stuff that needs to be worked through.
It can be discouraging at times, but it just takes a lot of patience.
Yep. You got to find a workaround and make it work.
You have a much more patience in that sense.
I don't have any patience.
You do. When it comes to that, you're like, okay, well, I already have a no. Let's get a yes. And I'm like,
Yeah, but I look at it as I don't have a choice. Like, this is what I want, and I have to get it somehow. So let's make it work.
yeah, I know. That's the different nature between us.
I'm not going back, so I have to keep going ahead.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hi, Aaron and Anneesa. Hello from Toronto. Finally glad to have caught you live. Sorry to hear you didn't get the grant, but you have so many irons in the fire. I'm sure you will find success. Oh, thank you very much. Thank you for joining us, too. Sam, Elena Self. She may speak with an accent, but I know foreigners who have lived in Russia for many years whose Russian vocabulary is much better than half of native speakers, and they write without mistakes. Not sure what that's for. Europe attacked the USSR in 1941. Today is of a day of remembrance and mourning. 06/22/1941. This is the day, eh? Or interesting. Hoffman time has 3 hearts now. It was 2 hearts. There we go. Thank you very much. That one's a repeat from Sam. Christopher, I repeat, hi. It's called marketing. You guys got to start doing local marketing. Put a sign billboard on the highway. Greetings from the old New Jersey guy in Sweden.
At the moment, we don't really have anything to sell these people, and we have enough people that find us without us having to market it.
Like our eggs are pre-ordered a week in advance, apparently.
Yeah.
I have a guy who wants to buy eggs, and every time I have to tell him no because they're all sold. Core keeps selling them.
We keep getting people that come to the end of our laneway and stare from abroad.
Yeah.
They're pretty fascinating. So I don't think we have to worry about that. And once we get selling our product, I think people will come.
Andre, hello to the family that shares our faith and values. I'm happy for you. Be healthy and happy. Thank you very much. You know, and that's another thing. If you're thinking of coming here from the West, you should. There's just, it's hard to explain the Russian soul, I guess. I don't know. It's just beautiful. There's so many amazing people. Yeah, there's probably crummy people here too, but the vast majority of people are just so welcoming and so kind and so happy to see you come. And it's hard to explain. You know, it's cool. We moved to Canada in 1988. I have no idea. I was a little kid, but I just don't. I can't imagine the same reception. No, our family did make the paper.
I know, because I know people would be like, did not appreciate.
Oh, that was, we came in '88. You're talking about the ones that came in 2000.
I know. No, they were still like.
In '88, it was different.
People just figure that some of those Dutch people came and just stole the land. And
well, those are the ones that came in the 2000s. Dutch that came in the 2000s, like everybody said, they came with suitcases full of cash and bought up everything.
Oh, okay.
That was hard for those of us who came in '88 too. But,
right.
You know, I don't think my parents came with a pile of money. They came with dreams. And
yeah, but you were still categorized into one of those families.
Well, yeah, I was still Dutch.
So. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Her daddy didn't want her to marry a Dutchman. At least when you were growing up.
Yeah, no good for nothing.
But he likes me. He likes me.
Yeah. He likes you.
Yeah, we get along good.
Mm-hmm. I think I'm married good.
Hey?
I think I'm married good.
Oh, I think so too. I married good too. Where was I? Greetings from St. Petersburg from Andre. Are you at the forum? There's apparently some big forum. I forget what it's called, but everybody's there today.
A forum?
Forum, like a gathering. I think even the president's there. Pretty sure Putin's there.
I wasn't invited.
Nah, I didn't get an invite either. But Sasha's there. Joe Schutzman's there. Eddie's there.
How come we weren't invited?
Sophirius is there. There's
Seriously?
a whole whack of people there.
How come we weren't invited?
They weren't invited either. I think they just found out about it and went. It's not for it's like an economic forum or something.
How come nobody told us?
Why would we need to know?
Well, we want to know these things.
I don't want to go there.
Why not?
If I go to St. Petersburg, I want to walk around and look at the beautiful buildings. I don't want to sit in some thing listening to speeches.
That might have been the excuse to go to St.
Nah, I just read Joe's stuff. I get the highlights. That's good enough for me. I don't want to sit there and listen to all that. I'd rather be out here on the farm. If I'm going to St. Pete, I'm going to walk around.
I know, but you just said the president was there.
Well, yeah, but
I wouldn't mind meeting him.
I think he's going to be a little busy to say hello to us. I think he's got a country to run. It would be cool to meet the president.
I'd
100%.
say.
If I knew that he's like, hey, I'm going there to meet Arend and Anneesa, I would definitely go.
Would you?
Yeah.
Well, that'd be a good idea, because if he's going to meet us, we should probably be there.
Yeah, we wouldn't want to upset the guy.
Yeah.
I repeat, I live in Swedish farmland country. Local farmers have small road signs. Yeah, we did in
Mm,
Canada too. Our last farm, if you look
yeah.
back on our videos, we had a roadside stand selling stuff. You can sell everything you grow on the farm there,
Mm.
basically. And actually, I seen a picture of it today. A friend of mine sent me a picture. He's like, "Hey, I miss you guys." He drove by our old farm, and our farm stand's still there. I don't know if they're using it or not. It used to say countryside farm stand. We took the countryside part off and just left the farm stand because countryside is our name, and we took that with. Well, not the Russia, but it's
Yeah.
somewhere else. But the farm stand portion's still there, so I literally I could show you it now.
Yeah,
No,
but
I
they're not
filmed it on
doing
my phone.
anything there. They
I
weren't
don't know if they're
selling
selling
anything.
anything or not. There's a cooler. There's a cooler sitting in the farm stand.
Oh,
It doesn't
okay.
look like they did
Yeah.
much with it. I don't know.
No, no. Some of the stuff was still
They're
sitting.
using the pasture because the picture you show there's horses in the front pasture.
Yeah, that's about it.
Okay.
Yeah, even a few
They're not
things.
farming the land?
No, even if they were renting it to the Amish.
No, really. What are they
Yeah.
feeding the horses?
I
Just
think they
buying
buy
here.
it in.
Maybe. It's a beautiful farm. There's actually two friends from the island this week. I'm gonna talk to Roland too.
There you go.
Love your channel. Greetings from BC. Thank you very much. Seryoga. Well, I thought I was the only one speaking Russian. Hello, Russians. Oh, there's lots of Russians on here. Nina, I wish you good luck in the fulfillment of your plans. It is difficult for you without knowledge of the language, but everything will gradually improve. Health to you and your wonderful children. Yes, thank you very much. Maxime, new setup, new room. The. Have you learned to count to 10 in Russian? Oh, a long time ago, yes.
I haven't.
You can't count to 10?
No,
How'd you move?
because I'm slow learner.
Yeah, I think I can make it to 100. No problem.
Wow, good for you.
It's very
Show off.
beneficial.
You show off.
Now, there's still different endings because, like I learned today,
We played bingo, and that was really good with
I
our
was going to say
friends.
Adin Karov, but it's not. It's Adna because Karov is female. I think I got that right. But if I'm talking about a Krolik is male. So it's Adin Krolik, but Adna Karov. Ka, может быть.
Right. So what I was going to
Correct me if
say
I'm
is
wrong.
that we were at friends today, and this is the second time we've been there, and we played bingo, and then we're practicing numbers, and that is really beneficial. I do find that because this time too it was like more.
The game is fast paced though, this bingo game, and so I have a hard. Like it takes me a little while to process. Okay.
Yeah, but I'm recognizing more.
What is that?
Like I'm recognizing more of the sounds of the
Yes.
numbers. So then I actually like a few times I actually found the numbers before somebody had to tell me in English. I had already put a thing on it, so I think it's really beneficial.
Good job. Maladits, mama. Maladits. Are you planning?
Planning what?
I don't know. So he says, are you planning? I'm always planning. I got lots of plans. I would like to develop this farm and farm it. But it's going to take years. You guys got to be patient. We are not rich people. We have to just kind of go as we go. We will start producing something, start selling something, making a profit. We'll dump that back in here as an investment in the farm and continue to grow. Hopefully, one day we'll be able to buy some land for the children and keep growing. What animals are you planning to raise on the farm? Chickens, ducks, geese, cows, pigs, horses, sheep, maybe some goats, turkeys, everything. Greetings to you, wonderful, big, friendly family. Thank you. We are going to Bamos. How am I supposed to understand them? At least they should have invited Sarah.
I think they're communicating amongst themselves.
Maybe. Hi, guys. Greetings from Ontario, but currently on Prince George, BC. Prince George is a nice area. If you're from Ontario and you're in Prince George, maybe I got wrong, Prince George. Isn't Prince George the one by Smithers? Or is Prince George the one on the ocean side?
Ocean, isn't it? They're both ocean.
Isn't there a Prince something? No, Smithers is far from the ocean still.
Prince.
I can't remember.
I'll give it. I think it's BC. It's up there by Smithers.
Is it a new room in the basement you're in? Yes. Actually, this is where we all slept. This is the room where, when we first started living in here, or staying in here because it got too cold at night, we slept in here.
You did. I got kicked out there.
Well, that's because there wasn't enough beds in here. Oh, now you got Prince George himself. I always need the country.
BC?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's Prince George.
Yeah, but where?
It's up by Smithers.
I know. If you follow the road from Smithers to the coast, I'm pretty sure there's a Prince something or other on the coast. So is it? But I thought there was also a Prince something by Smithers. That's why I
By
want to make
Smithers.
sure we're in the right Prince. You need to find it on a map.
Yeah, it's the Fraser Valley. No?
I don't know. Click on the map. Хорошо. Boop, 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 boop.
This is how we educate.
Yeah, so that's got to be Smithers. Vanderhoof, yeah.
Mm.
Fraser Lake. But what's on the end of the road? There's Houston and Smith. Oh, Prince George is a long ways from there.
Oh, it's way up there.
Now, on the end of the road, what's there?
Oh, Prince.
No.
of
Zoom in
Wales.
that one there.
Just settle down, man. Prince Rupert.
Prince Rupert. Maybe that's what it is.
So get your finger off my screen.
Well, you're going to the wrong spot.
That's the one you're thinking of.
Is it?
Yep.
I wanted to see if that road actually ended up there because I think it might be north. Yeah, so maybe it's Prince Rupert. So yes, Prince George is a nice spot. We've never been there, but we were looking at moving to Smithers a long time ago. So if you're from Ontario and you're Prince George, I'm going to guess you might be Dutch. Just a guess. You can tell me if I'm right or wrong.
It says we met Arend's or Anneesa's parents. What about Arend's folks? How are they doing without their son and grandkids?
Fine, I think.
Not sure.
I'm not super close with my family, actually. I'm looking down here. She was looking up there. I'm not super close with my family. But yes, they're doing fine as far as I know.
We haven't heard anything else.
You probably described your family, but it is absolutely not interesting to us. And this family is super in all respects. Which family? My family's not interesting to you, but other families are? I don't know.
I think they're talking amongst themselves.
They must be. Maybe the highlighted Texans and Russians are done ones.
Yeah, I think they're talking to them. Anneesa, how is your ankle? It was my foot, the bottom of my foot. I have a spur, and I can never remember what it's called, and a few other things. But it's doing much better. I went and actually got an ultrasound the other day because I was worried the pain started going up my leg, so I was worried about a blood clot, but it's not a blood clot, and I took a few anti-inflammatories, seems to help, and I have a brace to put my foot kind of like this when I sleep so it doesn't go like this to help it, and it seems to be helping quite a bit. The first few days were really bad, but today I did not take any anti-inflammatories. I didn't wear my running shoes all day. I normally have to wake up in the morning and put my shoes on or I can't walk, but I didn't wear my running shoes at all today. I wore sandals. I was able to walk, and I have no pain still as I sit here. So
awesome. Because it was really bothering me.
Yeah, it was really bothering me. But today, like,
it bothering me because by the time I go to bed, I'm ready for sleep, and I'd have to massage your foot. Terrible.
What a whiner.
Oh, terrible.
I know, but you've had enough pain I've had to deal with for
that's different.
months. So
yeah, that's different.
I know. So it's about time you had to do something.
The smelly feet.
Yeah.
No, it's not that bad, folks.
Anyway, so it was really good today, but every day is different. So we'll see what tomorrow brings. I was trying to drink a lot of water today too, so that might be part of it. Dehydration.
Usually
I cut back on my tea intake because I was really drinking a lot of tea. And
Russia's rubbing off on you.
Well, and I remembered that tea has like a lot of pesticides and that type of stuff too.
That's why you should drink coffee.
That's even worse.
No.
Yeah. It's even worse.
Strong and healthy.
Anyway.
Sergey, hello from Novosibirsk.
Thank you for asking.
I wish your family health and that everything you have planned to do will work out in every new video from your channel. I hope to see cows. Me too.
Greetings from Kazan. Have you found the one that catches your chickens?
Video coming out this week. Coming up this week. It's a sad one, folks. So you got to wait till this week. It's coming up. Stay tuned. Gleb, good evening. Sokanokos, greetings from Arizona. Wonderful family. Are you planning to cut grass and sell the hay? No.
Not sell it, but cut, hopefully.
I don't like selling the hay. I want to keep it right here. I want to feed cows and sheep. So I am hoping to cut the grass. When you sell hay, it's evident on this farm. This farm, they cut it every year and took it away. And what you end up with is a lack of organic matter on your own soil. Organic matter, chunks of hay is needed for the bugs in the ground to live and thrive. Those bugs make new topsoil. So if you're constantly taking away and not putting it back, I'm not talking about putting commercial fertilizer back. I'm talking about real organic matter. You're depleting your land. It's It's terrible. What's up?
Somebody says you want to sleep on the couch with those feet comments. We don't
Yeah,
have a
maybe.
couch.
True. Yeah, we don't have a couch. One day we'll buy
One
a
day
couch.
we can afford a couch.
Right now we don't have a couch. So anyway, no, I don't want to sell any hay. I mean, I will if it actually comes down to it and we need the money. I will. But I would prefer not to. I would prefer to feed it to the animals and then put it back on the land as fertilizer, natural fertilizer, or even. I know this pains a lot of people, but even just leaving it standing there, and then we'll knock it flat like we did last year. That's already going to show a huge benefit because it gives those bugs something to eat. Greetings from Yekaterinburg. Laugh out loud. Your conversation is funny. Spasiba, Ruslan. Elena, we met Aneesa's parents. Oh, we read that one.
Yeah, yeah.
Artyom, good evening. Pavel, I think the guest house should be rebuilt into a mini hotel and invite Canadians to come for a vacation and excursion. Well, we have talked about actually opening that guest house up for rent. Some of you guys could even come and rent it if you want to. But then I thought, who would want to rent our backyard? Seems odd.
I no, and not who would want to. It's like
I think so. Why would anybody want to sleep here? They can sleep anywhere in the world. Why would they want to come live in our backyard?
because we're awesome.
Well, I don't really see us as that. I think you're awesome.
I think you're awesome.
Well, thanks. But I just think it would be odd.
Yeah,
Down the
I
road, we
bet
would
people
like to
I
do
think
that.
would like to.
We would like to build some guest houses. We're not there yet, but that would also be a potential. Tap your microphones. Why? Hello. Um, that would be a potential source of income for us as well. Yes.
I think the biggest thing with you though is that you feel like what would they do while they were here?
Yeah, the farm's not up and running yet. I mean, once we got some milk cows and we're making butter and we've got, just more stuff for people to do, then if you come and you get to experience the farm for the day, I think it'd be more profitable for you. You get more bang for your buck. Right now, you're going to come and visit and just drink tea with us. It's kind of boring as well.
They might enjoy that.
Maybe.
I hear you. We
I
need
know.
a little bit more for them to do. If they could feed the chickens and they could make their own butter or they could make their own
Yeah, I really want to have an
soap or
educational farm. So I mean, you could bring your kids and your kids could learn something about farming for the day or for the weekend. I think that would be awesome. But
I just
for
don't know
that, we
how
need
we
more
would
stuff.
how would we make that? Like I don't want to overcharge people, but there is obviously a cost to it because, you know, yeah.
Yeah.
But I don't know how you would ever price that out either. That seems to be.
I don't know. Hello from the UK. How did the cake sale at the market go? They did very well. I think so. Uh, in my opinion, I mean, I think they did very well.
Somebody says, "Do you feel guilty for receiving gifts when you are financially better off than most Russians?"
Well, for that matter, we don't know how well off other Russians are.
Right.
We're not rich people. I mean, it might look that way, but if I drive through town, there's a lot of houses in this local town that are way bigger than mine. So I don't know if that this size of a house means we're rich. We literally built everything ourselves because we can't afford someone else to build it. Right? Yes,
Mm.
we're talented enough to know how to build a house for sure, but if we would have paid someone else to do it, I would have never been able to build a workshop. Right? All the money
Um,
would have been gone in the house.
I would say that I wouldn't feel guilty. I feel blessed. I feel so blessed that the people felt the need to gift us. And I believe that is a blessing for other people to give gifts. So by people giving us gifts, it's a blessing on its own. I also know the Russian spirit is if they gift me something and we do not have a need for it or we do not have a use for it, I could then give it to somebody who needs it. And they would be totally fine with that because that's just how their spirit is. They would be like, okay, well, we're going to give this to the feedsters. I've even had people have that conversation with me that, hey, we have this box full of stuff that's sitting in my apartment. I don't have a use for it. Would you find a use for it or find somebody that needs it?
Mm-hmm.
So by
Yeah.
blessing us, we have actually been able to bless others. The other Canadian family that came, when they came in the winter, we were able to bless them with so much stuff when they came. And there's been other people that we don't feel the need to like show all that.
Yeah, we come across
Yeah.
people in need as
Yeah.
well, and we never videotape that. I feel
Yeah.
bad doing that, I guess. I
Right.
mean, I feel bad not showing you guys what we're given
Right.
because I feel that those people need to be honored in that way, but
Yeah.
we
I think
never
they deserve to
show
know
when
that
we
we
give
are
stuff.
grateful for the gifts that they have given.
Yeah, I feel like if we videotape the times that we help other people, then it would be like bragging, and I
Yeah.
don't want to seem like we're
Now,
doing
I
that.
have to say, I have been guilty of not videotaping the gifts that have been coming in a form of flowers and stuff for my garden. It's just
True.
been
Yeah, you got
great.
a lot of stuff.
It was so funny because you build it and it will come, and it's been like, people have been giving little like dig outs of their plants, and it's just been so great because I was like going and buying a plant so expensive, but it's like, oh. And then once one lady in the village notices somebody gifted us some stuff for my garden, then somebody else showed up with a bag from their gardens, and it's like a community garden built from love, and
Mm.
just it's just amazing. And then I look at it now and I can honestly look at all this love that's put into this beautiful flower garden brought to me by Russians. It's just amazing.
Yep,
So
I think so. Even I forget what they're called again. You got those other bushes you were given last year.
the cranberries,
Cranberry? No,
yeah,
not cranberry. Currants.
or the currant
Currants.
bushes,
That's what
yeah,
they are. Yeah.
yeah. Somebody, one of our subscribers, gifted us 50 currants, and last year, and
Currant bushes.
currant bushes, and they're all
Yeah,
they've
they
got,
did good.
yeah.
There might be one that died off.
Well, there's a few, but the thing with currants is they're kind of a weed kind of thing, so they might not come up this year, but next year they might actually take. So we'll see what happens.
I'm sorry, but the situation is not easy right now. There are bad people everywhere as popularity increases, and anonymity is an important thing. Yep, that's one thing we do worry about because a lot of people do know where we live, and we do have people coming in the laneway. And unfortunately, some people feel the need to tell everybody where we live.
Mm.
Yeah, we've thought of that. I know other YouTube channels that end up having to move just because of that, for their own safety, for their children. They move to a new undisclosed location. I hope we don't have to do that, but obviously we will do whatever's necessary to keep our families safe, whatever it's necessary. So, Gregory, greetings from Kazan. Have you found the one who catches chickens? We will have a video on that this week. Are your chickens making
Eggs, maybe.
eggs? Maybe, I don't know. That's all it says.
The next time a TV station asks for your interview, give them a cow. Tell them to bring a cow.
Yeah, that'd be cool. Konstantin, I'm glad to listen, but I don't understand. Sorry, I am not good at English. Let's do it in Russian. Мой русский это плохо.
Reminds you worse.
Только немного. I don't know very much. You can let people work for money, like Tom Sawyer had his fence painted by fans. That's an idea. How much money do you make off your grifting? I'm not even sure what grifting means. McCarran, hello from the States. Yarushka. We are in Canada and going to Zerzhink in August. I'm looking forward to this vacation. I'm not sure where that is. Sergey, next time on TV. Oh, you just read that about the cow. Alberto, what days is the market on? So the market in Dolny Konstantinovo is on Fridays, every Friday. Probably from about 7 in the morning till 12 to lunchtime. Most people clear out by then. It's actually a really nice market. There's a lot of stuff there. Tommy, you guys could look into possibly growing flowers in order to make. Oh,
Yeah,
we
you read that
already.
already.
Greetings from Moscow, guys. After sorry, I didn't mean to offend anyone. Not sure what that means.
Have you already dived into Russian tax paying system? What differences are there in compared to the Canadian?
A lot less money. So, as an idea, somebody that makes about $100,000 in Canada would have to pay almost 50% in taxes. Not straight income tax, but it's a lot of money. Here, you pay the 13%. There's two different tax systems. I'm not an expert. Russians will fill you in, but there's two different systems, and I think one's 13%, one's 6%. It's 6% of everything or 13% of net, if I understand correctly. But no, I don't know all the ins and outs. I know it's a lot less money here for taxes, and of course, we still have a lot to figure out.
This person says, I agree. I can't wait for your videos every day. They're a gift to us. Thank you very much.
Maddie McMaster's gifts come in different forms. This channel is a gift to the viewers that are inspired and motivated by watching this great journey. Thank you very much, Maddie.
Thank you.
You've always been a very loyal, good supporter. Appreciate that.
Somebody says other podcasters that I have contacted in Russia say that you guys get special treatments. Do you think that is true?
Special treatments by who?
I don't know.
Well, I can't answer that if I don't know.
I wouldn't feel we get like special treatment. I feel like we were, maybe because it was the year of the family when we arrived, that we were kind of just put into the spotlight. I hope that we're giving that spotlight justice.
Yeah, what we're doing is different. I mean, if you come to Russia, maybe they mean government. I don't know. Let's just assume they do. But if you come here to be, I don't know, work in IT or something, you're a dime a dozen. There's lots of people that do that. Doing what we did, or what we're planning on doing, is coming here to farm. There's not very many of people. I know one other family now that's doing it, and we jumped in with 2 feet. Like, we came here fully prepared to stay. We're not leaving. We bought land, we built a house, built a barn. I don't know anybody that's done this yet. And also building a house on the land. Most people that I'm working with don't know anybody else that's did it. So these are all unique scenarios that never have been done before.
Yeah, and I think if I could just elaborate on that, that I think a lot of people that come have always got their feet on both sides of the fence.
Yeah, a lot of people still have a
we
house
didn't
back home.
because we invested everything. Like, we've invested our lives here. So it kind of shows to the people of Russia that we are here to stay. Like, we can't not stay.
Yeah,
right?
we took everything we have and we invested it here. This is our home. I'm not planning on going anywhere.
Right.
And I think I don't believe we got special treatment. No,
If
but
anything,
for the government,
I think that
there's a lot of firsts. Like, we're basically pioneers
Yeah.
in the government's eyes as well. There's things that they have never had to encounter before we came, and so they're doing their best to try to make it work because they would like us to stay here as well. Is that special treatment? No, I don't think so. It's just,
and I think they see that
figuring it out.
we mean business because we did what we did. I think also the Russian people have really welcomed us wholeheartedly as well.
Mhm.
But
And we've certainly never asked for special treatment. We came here prepared to make a life. That's what we're doing. Some differences: budgets that receive taxes, deadlines for submitting a tax return, priority of tax collection, gift tax, filing a
I
tax.
think they're just answering the other person.
Hello, you aren't streaming from. Whoops, where to go?
From the study. No. We're in the basement.
We're in the basement. What room is it? If it's not a secret, it is room 236. No, we don't have numbers on our rooms. We're just in the basement. We've made a new spot for future podcasting. We will continue to work on it. We have some bare space on the shelf that needs something. We'll move some more stuff. And this was put together quickly today, and I like it. It's a nice spot. Gives us a bit more room. The lighting is better. We'll continue to work on it.
Mhm.
Interesting how different it is on your screen versus mine. Look how bright it is on mine. Is it just the camera?
I think it's just the angle because
Oh,
it's
yeah.
bright on mine too. So we should probably wrap it up here soon.
How long have we been on this thing?
A little over an hour.
Hello from Izvisk. That's an interesting name. Where did you gain your knowledge about proper agriculture and about crops? I don't even know very much about crops. I mean, we learn as we go. Well, Anneesa thinks I know a lot. I got her fooled, so don't tell her the truth. We're not expert farmers. I don't even know what that means. We learn as we go.
Yeah, I was gonna say
the most important thing is to be hungry for knowledge and never quit learning. I meet so many people that think they know everything. That's a terrible attitude.
Every moment is a teachable moment.
I am ready to willing to admit that I do not know everything. That's how I can learn more. I suck in the knowledge. I ask questions. Some people you ask questions to don't have very good answers, but you just listen to them and you pull out the good stuff and you just throw the rest away and you keep going. Having common sense is huge because common sense helps you sort through the garbage and the good. And we just learn. We try something. If that didn't work, we try something different the next time. only a dummy does the same thing twice. If it didn't work the first time, don't do it again.
Mhm.
So we keep learning.
I
We
have
picked
to
up
laugh
things.
when we went to the one farmer there down south of us, and they handed us a handful of this grass, and you and I both looked at it and we're like, okay, kind of looked, and we weren't sure what kind of grass it was. And they're like, kind of looked at us like, you're farmers. And how do you not know what kind of grass it was? It was alfalfa, but it's like
Yeah, alfalfa here looks different.
the alfalfa looks completely different.
I did not recognize it
So
as
no,
alfalfa.
me either. I was
I mean,
like,
it looks
I
like a
think
legume.
it's
Sure, it's got
alfalfa, but
leafy.
I'm not sure. It doesn't look like it. So anyway, and then we left and we Googled it and we figured it out what it was and why. And yeah, it's totally different here looking than what we would be used to.
Yeah.
Even I find the clover here looks slightly different, right? It obviously looks like clover, but it looks
More
different.
similar than
Yeah,
alfalfa, in my opinion.
yeah, alfalfa
But
was definitely different.
be prepared to learn and to be open minded in everything. I so people like, oh, this is how it's done. No, it's not. That's how Grandpa did it. That doesn't mean that that's the only way to do it. I came up with the idea of raising pigs on pasture, and the amount of people that said that I was crazy. You cannot raise a pig on pasture, and they have to eat grain and have to be in a barn. It's ridiculous. Open your mind. Stop being so stuck and fixated on one thing. Pigs on pasture were great. And the two main people that opposed me in that discussion both raise pigs on pasture today and sell pastured pork. And they're doing very well. The concept is good. Johan Horst, goedenavond, familie Veenstra. How are Paka and Beppa at home in Canada? Greetings from a Dutch in Transylvania, Romania. Well, that's interesting. What are you doing over there? I hear Romania is nice. Paka and Beppa. I don't have a Paka and Beppa. Although I was born in Friesland in Snake, I always had open Oma. So on both sides of my family was open Oma, and they have both passed away a long time ago. Both sides. So, and my parents are known as Opa and Oma to my kids. So no Paka and Beppa. I thought about, because I don't know, what do we want to be when
Yeah,
our
we've
kids
talked
start
about
having
this.
kids?
We're like, oh, I'm not sure what we're
Now that
gonna
we're in
be.
Russia, are we going to be a babushka and dadushka, or Opa and Oma, or Paka and Beppa, or grandma and grandpa? I
I've
don't
heard that there's Oma and Opas here.
know.
Yeah, I'm not
Yeah.
sure.
Whoopa! Not sure. We don't have any kids having kids yet. So
Anneesa, how is your lactose intolerance? Is it better since you've changed food? How is the food in general? Do you feel a difference in your health? So I don't know for sure that I'm lactose intolerant. I just know that the Canadian milk from the store I cannot drink. I don't seem to have an issue with it here. I actually really enjoy the milk as long as it's like the 3.2% that they have here. So, like, obviously closer to whole milk. I can drink it at the store and I drink excess, so I don't seem to have an issue with it. I actually have celiac, so the wheat seems to be an issue. I seem to be able to eat the wheat here, but then when I went back to Canada, I had a really bad allergic reaction to the wheat and actually shampoo over there as well.
probably
And
has wheat in it.
it did, yeah, it
Yeah,
had
okay.
wheat protein in it.
It's
And
crazy. They use
I,
wheat in
yeah,
everything.
and I literally had to, the whole time I was in Canada, I actually had to be on allergy medications.
You got
Just
water over there?
Mhm.
Okay, carry on.
Anyway, I had to be on allergy medications the whole time I was there. Since I've been back, I have been a little more sensitive to the wheat products here. Now, I do eat more than I need, but I noticed that it's kind of harder. I think my body needs to obviously be detox from wheat for a while.
Mhm.
I did cut it back, but then the kids have been baking and I've been eating some cookies.
Celiac is actually
Gluten.
a protein issue,
Yeah.
gluten issue, which is a protein issue again, and milk
Yeah.
allergies is also a protein issue. It always
Well,
comes
some
down
people
to
have
proteins.
lactose, but I actually think I had protein in the milk issues.
So, Doug, yes, it is not good to sell your hay production. You're exporting nutrients. Exactly, 100%. We stopped putting up our hay. Like if you don't know anything about growing hay, a lot of people say that, oh, just sell it, and they think it just grows there for free. But the way it grows, it takes a little bit from the sunshine, it takes a little bit from the water, and it takes the rest from the ground. So it takes minerals and nutrients out of your soil in order to grow grass. Then you take that grass, the nutrients is in it, and you ship it away to some other farm. That nutrients is now gone. How are you going to replace that? And so I know people like to just throw on chemical fertilizer, but chemical fertilizer will never replace the real thing. Okay, it's like I always compare it to drugs. It's like drugging somebody, so they run around like crazy, but then they crash out and burn. And the same thing, the bugs in your ground. They need the real stuff. You could try to simulate it with something fake, but it's not real. The best thing you can do is give them real organic matter, and that comes in the form of either animal manure or rotting vegetation, right? So if you don't need the hay, there's nothing wrong with just leaving it out there. And like we did last year, it actually reseeds itself then because everything goes to seed. You knock that down and grows. People driving by don't understand you. They think you're crazy. That's okay. I've been called crazy before, but I got more healthy plants growing out there this year than I did last year. And if I have to do that again, that's okay. There's nothing wrong with leaving your land fallow for a year. Obviously, if we can afford it, we would like to buy hay equipment, and we are looking for some stuff right now, but it has to fit our budget, which means we have to spend a bit of time finding something that we can actually afford to buy, and then we will cut our own hay and feed it to our own animals. Anyway, they go on to say that they stopped putting up our hay 33 years ago. We buy all our hay, run enough additional cows to buy hay. And that's perfect because now you're taking nutrients from someone else's farm and bringing it to yours. You feed additional cattle here and buy the hay in. Nothing wrong with that. And over time, you're actually making your soil better. You're growing your topsoil, you're growing your organic matter. Great. Let somebody else deplete their land and don't do it on yours. You have fantastic videos and I watch them all the time. Your kids are fantastic and hard workers. You're truly blessed. Thank you very much. Dan H. I reckon Greg Clark doesn't like you. For whatever reason, his questions seem quite hostile. Who's Greg
He
Clark?
just asked at what point will we have 100% ownership of our farm. You mentioned that you have a Russian partner.
Who, Greg?
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't find that hostile.
Oh, but is he the same guy who was asking about the grifting or whatever? That Greg dude?
He was asking something.
Greg. Other podcasters I have contact
Yeah,
Russia say that you guys are getting special treatment.
Right.
Some people like to stir the pot.
Anyway, we would get
100% ownership. We can't have that until we're citizens.
citizens.
Now, some people might say, well, that's not nice. That's government overreach. No, I think it's a good rule. Why should non-citizens be able to buy up your precious farmland? We have this in Canada. We have non-citizens buying up precious farmland and precious industries that are important to the country, being bought by foreign countries that are sometimes referred to as the enemy. That doesn't make sense to me. That land should belong to Canadians, and Russian land should only belong to Russians. But there is a way through a company. If you form a company, you can buy land, and that's what we're doing. And we are very much interested in becoming Russian citizens. And when that time comes, we can fully own it ourselves.
You see Matt's comment?
No.
He says, and they're not ready to hire out the guest house yet because it's prepared for the Vladimir Mr. Putin.
We're preparing for him. I'd feel terrible putting him in there. If he wants to come visit, I'd let him have my room. He can. I'll sleep in the bunkhouse. Yeah. Anneesa, how is your lactose? I read that. Just block that, Greg.
Yeah, they're just.
Sorry, I mean grandparents of your children, Johan Horst. Back in Bethel. Yeah. So no. Anneesa's side's not Dutch, so they are English, Scottish, Irish mix, I guess.
Yeah. Canadian mutts.
So they refer to it as Nana, which would be English, right?
I think. Nana would be, yeah.
And so in that culture, it's Nana and Papa, but I'm a Papa, so we figure that's way too confusing. So it's now Nana and Grandpa, which is a little mixed up maybe, but normally Grandma and Grandpa go together, and then you have like Nan and Paul would go together. But then on my side, it's Opanoma. Although my last name is Frisian, if you don't know the Netherlands, there's several provinces, and Friesland is one of them. And so the last name, Stra, any Dutch name that ends like that, Stra or Ma, automatically people in the Netherlands know that that's a Frisian name. So my last name might be Frisian. My dad's dad was Fries, but my dad's mom was not. She's from South Holland. So we're only like a little bit Frisian. And yes, I was actually born in Friesland. I think most of my siblings are. Oh, they all are. I think they're all born in Friesland. But we're not really
like
Frisian.
2 months old, no?
I think I was 2 years old when we left Friesland.
No, 2 months.
2 months?
Yeah, your Opa died when you were 2.
Oh, maybe that's what it was. Yeah. Anyway, so I mean, we're not really Frisian. I mean, I have a Frisian last name, and yes, I was born in Friesland. But like real diehard Frisians are very passionate about their province. And my mom's from Groningen, not Frisian at all. So.
All right, well, I think we got to the bottom of it.
Did we?
Mm-hmm.
My wife is Hungarian and born in Romania. From the Far East. Okay, that's the guy I was asking about. My wife is Hungarian and born in Romania. The Astrakhan Zoo has a donkey named Moses who considers himself a security guy. When he sees people, he starts shouting, Eeyore! I think most Europeans refer to alfalfa as lucerne. Oh, interesting. How's the market going? Greetings from Moscow. Matty McMaster's. I know there's a lot of Dutch names begin with van. Is that particular region? Or... Yeah, I don't remember exactly where, but it means from. It's from such and such. So in German, the German equivalent would be von. So if you know the Sound of Music, you got the Von Trapp family. That's where they're from. It means from such and such. So the way the story that I've heard historically, when Napoleon took over Europe, he forced everybody to have last names. A lot of people thought it was ridiculous and it'll disappear when Napoleon disappears, but it didn't. So there are some really ridiculous last names, but a lot of them it's just place names. In order to identify it, he might be John. Well, John who? Well, John that lives over there, and so that's where you get Jan van such and such. So you get Van Dyke would be somebody that lived close to the dike. I don't know, all those different names. Van der Veen would be somebody that worked with like Pete Moss. Fane would be similar to like Pete Moss. Yeah, there's lots of different names like that. But yeah, the beginnings and the endings can kind of dictate where you're from.
This one's kind of neat. I've heard of this before.
Greetings from Moscow region. God blessing to your family. Improve your health with, what is that? Hydrotherapy? Leeches help restore health. Study this issue.
Yeah, the leeches, like, they use the leeches to bleed you out a little.
Oh, that doesn't sound like a good idea to me. Excuse me.
Yeah, that they put them on in certain spots, and then it supposedly helps.
Sounds gross.
It does, but I've heard of it. All right, we need to go.
Right. Yeah. Eagle of Nizhny. My name does mean eagle, yeah. Which I think in Russian would be Oriel or something like that. Or I forget now. Yeah, but Arend is eagle, yeah. I should sleep soon. Me too. In your videos, I see your children are starting to speak Russian well, especially Cora. Yep. My question is this: do your children have direct communication with Russian children? Yes, they do. No, this is not a feature of a particular region, but a common prefix to Dutch surnames. Van from Dutch van means from, and almost always indicates ancestors' place of origin or residence. It is somewhat region dependent though, because like Friesland, they wouldn't have vans in it. I'm pretty sure it is distinct to some, but I'd have to look it up again. 100% sure. I'm not confident enough to start an argument on it, but if I remember correctly, it is somewhat provincially dependent.
All right.
Okay, we're gonna call it a night. I can't even hit the off button here today, so I don't know where it is because it's way over there. Thank you guys for joining us. I hope you enjoyed the new set, the new room. We're gonna do some more stuff from this room soon. Hopefully, gotta get some interviews done. It's a matter of finding time. We're just busy with stuff, but we are hoping to do more of it. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Like I said, enjoyed the videos. Keep giving her thumbs up. Keep sharing. We still can't hit 200,000. It's just impossible. We've been trying for what, 10 months?
Yeah,
I
probably.
think it was 9 or 10 months
And then
ago.
we were getting so close
And
again. Now it was going and going
Yeah.
and going, and then we mentioned it on the last live, and now it's like
we thought we would do something cool for hitting 200,000, and we just haven't never hit
No.
that yet. So
That's too bad.
maybe we never will,
I don't
but
know.
we'll try.
We'll see.
So God bless you guys all. I hope you have a great week. And yeah, stay tuned for some videos. We got some cool videos coming up this week. All right, catch you guys all later. I think Anneesa's going to try shutting it off while I stand here and wave all by myself. Bye-bye.